Outside Lands, but the Saturday before.
Yeah,
So it's been
yeah.
like a little over a week. So I was on my way to Sunnyvale to meet them in a bar, and they were on their way from Redwood City to meet me at a bar. And on the way there, they like the two of the band members got into like a bad accident. Um,
Jeez.
well, so like the drummer and the bassist, right, Fabian. Let's see, drummer and Nate and Fabian respectively. They they're driving in Fabian's car, and it was like a five-car collision on 101, where like they were sandwiched between two other cars, and so it
Mm.
was like from bumper to bumper, dude. And so like the car's totaled. The bass was in the trunk, so the bass is fucked, which sucks, dude. And
That's fucked, man.
it was a crazy thing to hear because I was literally gonna get off at my exit to get to Sunnyvale, and my boy calls me and he's like, "Yo, these two have been like in an accident, so we gotta cancel." And I was like, "No way!" And so they're still doing it in Nashville because they got the music video to film. But I think they're picking up a new bass out there because like it worked out coincidentally that like so one of the knobs on my bass fell off. I left it in Jackson's hands, his golden hands, to repair it, and he has the case and everything too because I wanted the bass to be safe. It's a big thing and it's fragile, very
Yeah.
fragile. So he had the case with him. So he was like, "Hey, can we just borrow this case and we use it to bring back the new bass?" And I was, or like, he didn't tell me that's what they're doing, but I'm assuming that's what they're doing. So they have the bass case right now, and he still has the bass at his house.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll say. So that's just funny that like the case is returning back to Tennessee, where I got it from, for them to pick up a new instrument. That's just kind of like full circle, and it's like really, I don't know. It's like the highlight of my week. Because the week's been so far so good. But we haven't talked really for a week and a half since we recorded. Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we're recording right now.
Oh, hello everybody. That's the intro to the 9 to 5 boys. Welcome back. I am your host Gil. This is my boy Eric. Um,
Shalom.
uh, I was talking about the event with my friends who are in a band, so it's crazy. But they're in Nashville. They're filming a music video. It was really cool to get to like recommend them like where to go and what to do, kind of, because like I've caught a bit of Nashville. Because I was only there for a day, right? But you need like at least 2 days. Luckily they're there for three on business, but still they might get some pleasure and get to go check stuff out.
Exactly, yeah.
Um, really cool. But anyway, so that's been like the highlight of my week. I'd say what's been going on the last few weeks. Last week and a half, I should say. That's the last time we talked. Well, so I went to Outside Lands this last weekend. It was my second music festival ever, and the second one this year. So it's just like it's super nice to think that like I'm doing all this crazy shit. It's expensive, but it's good, fun. Spent a lot at Outside Land, or all together collectively in regards to the trip. So we stayed up. Me and my lady stayed up in the city. She got us like it was a Verbo. It's like an Airbnb type of deal. Um, but it was a really cool little place. It was a nice little spot. It was kind of attached to a house, so it was one room that had like the bed and the couch and like a kitchenette. So it only had like a sink and a fridge and a freezer, obviously, and it had like a toaster and a microwave, but no stove or anything. So we just used the microwave all weekend exclusively when we were at the house. But then when we were at the festival, we'd buy food. And so the first day was really cool because like we got to see we got there. So I took a half day at work, and so we drove up. We finally met up at about. She came over here a little after 3 o'clock. We drove up, got to the city about. Oh yeah, we're finished packing up here. We got a bite for the road, and we got to the city about 4:45, a little before 5. So one of the things was we missed Diesel, which is Shaq. It's Shaq DJing.
Oh,
So we
DJ
missed
Diesel.
that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, DJ Diesel. Yeah, he's and we got to hear some of the set, which is cool. We just missed watching it. Let me drink some of this beer.
Mm.
But then so we got there and we caught a little bit of Willow's set from afar, which was cool. Short. Then we got a pretty good spot for Janelle Monáe. We got to see her set. She was really good. She's got a lot of energy on stage. She was doing great. She performed The Way You Make Me Feel. Love that track. It's a great one.
Yeah.
That's off of her, I think, Dirty Computer album, which I think the whole album's really good. But that song particularly is like very Prince inspired. It's got a good bass line.
Yeah.
But so then the closer the first night was Kendrick Lamar, which was super cool. He was amazing.
Yo.
His dancers were super cool. He had a good stage presence. It was awesome. The festival itself was really cool. I always like going to these things because I get to see the characters. So everyone, like, I have a firm belief that like we are what we wear and we wear what we are, and so like we present our personality and what we wear. And so I was trying to portray like the typical hippie. So I had sun shirts all weekend to cover my arms. Over that, I had have a tie dye shirt, and I had my like 60 shades and my sun hat all weekend to like protect my head, except for Friday. Friday was pretty cloudy, so I figured it was fine. I didn't get sunburned all weekend, and I only put on sunscreen once, so that
Nice.
goes to show something. So anyway, so I love seeing people in their different outfits and what they've chosen to wear, and some of it I'm like that's really flashy, but that must be challenging to walk in because it was like a lot of walking, dude. My feet were dead every day. I was so tired. And like even standing for like Foo Fighters on the second night was like hard, but like that was a sweet set. Oh my god! So like, so the second day, who was there? The second day we could see Zach Fox, which was awesome. He put on a great set.
Yo, that's fucking wicked. Oh my
We
god.
saw this like indie rock band Always, which was cool. They didn't do a lot of crowd engagement, but they played a good set because they're just talented musicians. They were great. They were good. Um, Later that night was what was that second night? It was I really hate that I don't remember. I think it was Maggie Rogers that second night. She was definitely there. I remember.
Maggie Rogers? Okay.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's really chill. Puts on a good performance.
Nice, nice.
So Saturday we saw. Father John Misty. That's who we caught. So that was really cool set. He's really like he's this very. To me, it sounds very folksy. I might be wrong. My girlfriend describes it as like satire. He's a little full of himself. It sounds like, but he's a really good performer and he's really chill. It was really cool. It was a really good set. And so then we caught the end of Maggie Rogers' set, so we could like squeeze into the front because Foo Fighters were playing next at that stage, so we wanted to catch that set.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that was a 2 hour set, and oh my god, it was amazing. And they ended with like Everlong, and like it was just perfect. And they brought out Michael Bublé, which is crazy because like the drummer, I guess, was like a session drummer for years. I hate that I can't remember the name, but of the guy. But he he played the set, and he apparently recorded for that song or maybe even for that album. I think it was just that song. And so they're doing a bit where like they were saying like, oh, can anyone come up and sing this song? They were doing the Bublé song. It was Haven't Met You Yet.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, we ask people at every show, and they cut to a guy on the camera. They cut to a guy who was like holding up a sign that said, I love Bublé, and behind it was just Michael Bublé. So he's walking up, putting in an earpiece, and coming up to the stage, like does that
Bruh.
little bit. That was a surprise. That was really cool. And Dave Grohl also brought out his daughter Violet, which is really cool. She's a great singer, very talented, sweet kid. That was really cool. Oh man, it was a fantastic set. The first night, it was like I heard numbers pushed around or passed around like 100,000 were there. It was a really packed event. There were so many people. There were so many people. Um, and and so like getting out the first night was such a hassle. Everyone was going through this little tunnel and walking through, and it was like really compact. So the first night it took us 40 minutes to even get out of the park, and then like an extra hour to walk home. Because so what we did that weekend was, so we the Airbnb was about a 10-minute drive from the park.
Yeah.
So since we got there late on Friday, there'd be no parking near the park. So what we did was in the morning on Saturday and Sunday, we drove my girlfriend's car over to a spot near the park, so that at the end of the night, we just lifted back to the Airbnb and then lifted over back to the festival, so that at the end of the night, we just walk to the car and drive home.
Yeah.
Which is a really smart maneuver. So on her part, she was the one who came up with it. I went to the Memphis festival and I lifted from the hotel each time, and that worked out fine. But I've never done like a festival near here to bring up a car and stuff. So I didn't have that to plot. And I didn't want to rent a car in Memphis because they like have a bad carjacking rate, which is really bad. So anyway, so then that Sunday, was Biba Doobie. She's like this like punk rock type person. But beforehand, we went there early to the festival because they have a section called Grasslands, which is just the weed section.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it's got like a lot of weed products, so like I want to check that out because like I'm me, and so like I went over there and I bought like a couple packs of edibles, like 2 packs of edibles, a pretty big pre roll, a single, and um, what else did I grab? I grabbed a soda that was like a root beer infused with cannabis, and I drank that at the festival. And then they gave you, if you spend $50 or more, you get a free pack of like 10 joints. And so I got like a free pack of rolls. So I got like a bunch of stock for next month, which is sweet.
That's fucking rad, man.
But it's cool. And it's from one of my favorite brands. It's this brand called Lowell. So I went to their booth first because it was like right by the door. And we just kind of wandered around. I took a picture with this inflatable gummy bear that's called Toki. So it's like a green gummy bear, and it's like really funny. And I want my girlfriend to send me that picture so I can have it. But yeah, it was super sweet. And then so we caught the set. So Biba Doobie was really cool. She's this really cool, like kind of like punk indie artist. There was this lady, Joy Oladica, I hope I pronounced that correctly. She's a really good kind of like, I don't know, it's very like sort of sad. It's kind of like sad, folksy a little bit, I would say.
Okay.
But she's really good, and she was really wonderful. She put on a great set. She was very authentic. She was a little nervous, even playing to the. It wasn't a huge crowd she pulled, but it was a big enough crowd to notice. So then after that, we caught Megan Thee Stallion, which that was a really cool set. She was doing her thing. Shit, which was really cool, and it's funny to watch everybody in the crowd go wild and act like Ratchet, which is like really fun. So it was just a very fun, chill vibes. I'm really surprised there were no fights because there were just so many people. It was very packed, and it's like people were shoving at you. And it's like, what the fuck? Some people might get drunk and like want to throw hands. The booze were expensive there, man. I think that's what I spent most of my money on. I think I ended up spending like $40 a day, and I would only get 2 drinks a day. One for me, one for my girlfriend. They're like ballpark prices, dude. Crazy. So it's like it was like it was $12 for like a can of beer, like a Heineken. And there was $17 for like a can of a pre-made cocktail. So those were pretty good actually. I really liked those. But then what we did, so we got a pack of High Noon seltzer, and so it's the ones with like vodka and soda and like some real fruit juice, which like is actually really good. It's like they had a guava one, which I really liked. They had a peach one. They had a kiwi one. The lime one, I never really liked lime that much, but this lime one wasn't bad. I never liked lime White Claws or anything like that. But those were really good. So we had those after the show. After the show, the first night, I pre-gamed with those the second day, and the third day I pre-gamed with the last of them, and then had beer afterward. But yeah, so that was cool. But then the closer for that night, we saw Megan. We collected our stuff from our locker. So we got like t-shirts, we got like tie-dye shirts, which were cool. One of them I'm gonna wear tomorrow to work.
Hell yeah.
Which is gonna be exciting. And then but what else? What else happened? Yeah, and then we caught Soccer Mommy. We caught the last of her set, which is cool. She was playing a cover of what's that song? Got no one to blame, 'cause every time I'm gonna get copyright strike. But anyway,
that was like what, 2-3 seconds?
It was.
What's that?
Soak Up the Sun. The track is called "Soak Up the Sun." It was great. It was awesome. She did a great job. She played one of the songs, and then we left early because we were just like tired. We wanted to beat the crowds, but the festival was sweet. It was well worthwhile. It was super fun. I ran into my friend's ex there, which was like chill. That was cool to see her. Because she saw me from my Instagram story, which was funny. Cause she was at the same set. She was at it was Biba Doobie, I think. Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah.
Wasn't Megan? No, definitely. We were like a lot closer. Anyway, yeah. So the festival was cool. A lot of fun. There was never a dull moment of to do anything. We got some food there. We had this really good like bacon grilled cheese, which like is probably really fattening. But I mean, I hope I walked it off. At least that walked it off by all the steps I did around the festival. But
Oh
yeah, it
yeah.
was very buttery, very good. Anyway, so what else happened during the week? Just been chilling. This week I haven't. So yeah, well, Monday was chaotic, and then what did I end up doing Tuesday? I think I just stayed at. Oh yeah, I stayed at home at my lady's place, and we were just watching. So we tried to watch Bram Stoker's Dracula, the 1992 movie
Keanu Reeves
with
and
Keanu
Gary, Gary
and
Oldman.
Winona Ryder and Gary Oldman, yeah. And gotta be honest, well, I was a little tired, so I fell asleep through some of the parts, but I felt the movie was like boring and horny. It was just like
Yeah.
very slow burn. Vampires are very sexual, and like there's just like titty, and I didn't expect titty in the movie. That kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
But it happens. But I want to rewatch it because it's supposed to be one of the best vampire movies ever made. But
Well,
I don't know.
here's the reason why it's the best. It's very, very true to the source material, and on top of that, the effects they use in the movie, all practical, costume design, monster design, everything, and then like the little visual effects they have, those are in-camera effects. They literally manipulate the film itself to actually have like little details like that.
Like his eyes in the sky. I liked stuff like that. The visual effects are really cool. I do respect that.
Because the director himself, the director himself wanted to use tricks that only films in that era where the book was written would have actually like had to work with in terms of making a film.
Well, yeah. I mean, 1897 was like the year the first film was like no, 1896 or something like that. It was like late 18.
Yeah.
Mid 1890s or something like that. But the Lumiere brothers, they invented the first film camera, and trying to remember from what else from my college courses. But that's really cool. Okay, I gotta rewatch this movie when I'm in a better mood. I think I was just really tired.
Yeah.
And like I had already had like 3 beers as well, so it's like not good.
Yeah, that'll knock you the fuck out. So yeah. Speaking of which, what you drinking now?
Right now, not sponsored, is the Kona Big Wave.
Hey.
It's their blonde ale. It's one of my favorites. I love the bottle design every time getting a little Kona. I like the new label design. I think it works. A little different, a little getting used to, but it's still got like a nice graphic. It's cute. And it's good tasting beer. I have a 12. Well, I have 10 left in my fridge of a 12 pack.
Nice.
But I'm coasting myself through it. What are you drinking tonight, sir? I saw you having some Mickey D's. As usual.
I ate some Mickey D's. I'm currently drinking water. I can pause this video and run to the fridge real quick for a cider, but...
You don't have to. You don't have to join me for drinking. I can drink alone. That's fine. I've been drinking every day. It might be... I mean, everyone can stand to drink less, I guess.
Think about it sometimes. And honestly, I've been polishing out some of the cider that we have in our house before we get any new beers and whatnot, because we have a shitload of cider. So I just crammed as many in the fridge as I can, and I've just been working through those.
No, totally. You got to pace yourself. It's like you don't want to consume too much. I try to be very careful with like my liquor intake. I mean, like it was not this last Saturday at the festival. It was the Saturday before. My buddy was hosting a thing at his place. So I was hanging out with him all day, and I think I might have talked about this in the last episode. We were just kind of drinking all day, but I was pacing myself, so I didn't get drunk. But it was also a wild night. But yeah, so it's hard to moderate. It's a very accessible thing, right? Like I can easily go to the shop, and like if I'm out of beer, I can go stock up on more beer, and if I've got beer in the fridge, I'm tempted to drink the beer, and so it's very much about just like having to just moderate how much you're drinking. But I mean, I think I've got it under control. It's not impacting. I'm not like doing it in. I'm not like doing it on the job or anything. I always wait till like after I'm out for work to like do that. Before like other job, I had like another job at Trader Joe's. I was going on my lunches to go get the $5 margs from Chili's, which like was funny for a while because like I would just come back to cashier, and be like a little buzzed instead of be like a little easier to do. I might be a little more bubbly, but it's also like not a healthy habit. I think it's like, but I like the memes about like about the afternoon, the lunch beers or whatever they call it, right? Like
Yeah,
the lunch
exactly.
drinks.
That's
That's funny.
when the lunch beers start talking like you should quit your job, and it's just Bill Hader
No, for real.
dancing.
Yeah, those are just crazy, dude. But I mean, those are factual. It's
Yeah.
drinking is it's a very culturally okay thing too. It's a very like encouraged thing. Um, yeah, but it's I think it's just funny. I'm watching the show right now called Strange Planet. I think is it Strange Planet? It's based off that. Yeah, it is. So it's based off that comic strip by that guy Nathan. I think it's Nathan W. Pyle.
Okay.
Um, he like draws little aliens that like use vocabulary that like literally describes like or has a different description of different things. Like they call coffee jitter juice. They uh I can't remember what they call socks. They just do like different weird funny things. It's a cute little show. It's on Apple TV Plus. I'm
Huh.
glad to see that guy's moving up and doing great things. And Beth Stelling is an executive producer, and I think she's hella funny. So I love watching the show. It's cute. It's got some good like chuckles.
Yeah, no,
I think it's worthwhile.
I got a pin featuring one of those little characters, and it's like him just like holding his arms up like this, and he's like star damage, and it's just like standing in the sun.
Oh, the sunburn. Yeah,
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 star
no, totally.
damage.
That's good. Yeah, but I think you'll be happy to know this. I've been catching up on JoJo, so I'm at part 3, Stardust Crusaders
Exactly, you're at Stardust
with Jotaro.
Crusaders.
With Jotaro, yeah, that's okay. I'm getting into stands now,
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is really cool. It's like kind of crazy, man. I love how it's getting more bizarre with each generation, and I'm excited to see what it holds.
yeah,
Um, Jotaro is an asshole. I'm not liking. There's a little bit of like, oh, he's like being good just for whatever, but like, he's
yeah.
kind of an asshole most of the time. He's just obnoxious, man. He doesn't have to be. Why is he gonna be so pissed off all the time? I don't know. Why
That's
is he
what
gonna be
I.
so mad?
That's what I wondered too, and he doesn't really get much character development in that arc. Just like little moments here and there. Honestly, you get
Yeah,
more of
like
the.
he's just like being a little nice.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Like
He's
it's
saving lives.
yeah, he's saving lives. He's doing the right thing. Granted, he's going about the weirdest way possible to do it, but honestly, in terms of character arc, you get more of the Frenchman in that series, Jean Pierre Polnareff.
I just got to the episode where they recruited him, where they
Yeah,
were fighting him in the restaurant, and then they got him on his side. It's a really fun show, man. I'm really digging it. It's getting really colorful and it's really wacky, and I'm confused also with Jotaro. Like, where does this hat end and his hair begin? I'm confused.
that is the age old joke and question amongst the community.
The JoJo fan base.
Exactly.
That's really cool. Oh, I saw the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh,
I
how
saw that
was
last
that?
Wednesday, which was really sweet. Um, that was really cool, man. It was really fun. It was a really well done story. It was well written. The animation's really cool and really really fun. Um, I think it's a good story. It's well done. I'm impressed that Seth Rogen does so with these projects. I think the pacing is just a bit off, and the overall scope of the story, like it all happens in a week, and or like even just like not even a week, it's like a couple days, and it just feels a little rushed in that sense. But like, yeah, I think it's cool. I think it has something to say. It has a really good cast. I think they all do a great job. Um, it's the turtles are done really well. They're very fun, and even Splinter's done really well. That's cool. Yeah, and I liked April O'Neil. I think it's weird that people are commenting on like the lack of how attractive she is when she's like supposed to be 16 in the movie. It's a
Yeah,
little just. I get that they're comparing to like the one in the 90s, right? Because she was hella bad and she's like an adult, and
yeah.
it's okay. But like, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. But I liked her character. She was kind of definitely a different take, but I think it's a good kind of. I think it helps her relate more to the turtles and be sort of more on their side and stuff. So it's really chill. So it's a good story. It's fun. I want to watch it again. I honestly want to watch it again. It's really I'd give it like 8.5 out of 10. I think that was really enjoyable.
Damn.
Um, Again, good animation, pacing could have been even just a little more time. It could have been like this is one of the times where I'd say like the movie could have been like a little longer. So if it was like, like 20 minutes longer, maybe even like 15 minutes longer, it'd have been like I think it would have been like great. I think it would have been bumped up to a 9.
Yeah.
Because like I get that like an hour and a half is like it's a perfect kind of point, and it's also like you don't want to lose a kid's attention because if the movie's longer than an hour and a half, they're gonna be like, well, they're gonna doze off and not remember the third act or whatever, right? So like, yeah, but it also again it could have just had a little more time to spend with the turtles being like the turtles and being like they yeah but no it was great, it was well done, it was really fun, I enjoyed it. I like how I think an observation I would make is I like how they made the humans very kind of gross, and it was like a movie about like the whole plot is like the turtles are hiding because people like don't like mutants, humans don't like things that are different, um, and so they've had to hide. But I like that they're making the turtles and most of the other mutants pretty uh, likable, and then the humans don't look as great. But anyway, that was maybe an observation I made. So, what else? This weekend, I'm gonna go see that tomorrow night. I'm gonna go see that horror movie, Talk to Me. It's been getting a lot of buzz.
Yo, tell me how that
I've heard
is.
it's really scary. I'm really hyped for it, but I'm also like, fuck, I really don't want to be that scared. But it's only an hour and a half, so I can just do 90 minutes of being fearful. It's gonna be sweet. I'm looking for. I love horror movies, but they do really like really good ones. Really just sit with you and they freak you out, and like that's what I hate. Like I recently rewatched Annihilation, and I remembered like my feeling of when I watched it in the theater. I was like, I love that movie. It leaves off with an ending that's so confusing but still so frightening, and then like, and it's not even that intense either. It's not even like there's not like a lot going on screen in the last part of when they're in the anomaly. But I really liked the scene with the bear. I think that's like one of the
Yeah.
craziest scenes with the film. I think that's like amazing the way they did that.
That was
Because I was
probably
sitting in the theater and that fucked me up, dude. I was like, whoa. And we kind of like we had to keep going after that part, and I was like, can we just sit for a minute and like not have things happen for a little while? Because
yeah.
that's what traumatized me, dude. That was fucked up. They what's her name? Gina. Oh God, I love that actress.
Gina
She's great.
Rodriguez.
Yes, she's great. She was. Oh man, they got her ass, man.
Yeah, they
Um,
did. They got her ass.
movie, they got her mouth because they just fucking chomped off the jaw.
Yeah,
But
no, that scene was probably the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in cinema ever.
it was. I mean, just the bear walking around making the voices, and
Yeah,
it just being horrific and drooling from the mouth, and like, oh my god, dude, and just being
yeah,
an amalgamation of like different parts of like an animal. It's like kind of crazy.
yeah. And I say that
The,
just after watching the Poughkeepsie tapes, and that is a disturbing film. But no, nothing in that film is nearly as disturbing as that bear scene in Annihilation.
Gypsy tapes. What's Gypsy tapes about?
The Poughkeepsie tapes.
The Poughkeepsie. Oh, what are those about?
So the Poughkeepsie tapes is a mockumentary, kind of like a late '90s, early 2000s like documentary style on
Mhm.
like a serial killer that they only know by the name of Ed, and the only reason why they know of his existence is because A, of his crimes that he committed, but the tapes that he
Oh.
left behind, him filming each and every crime he ever committed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so they intercut like the documentary style, like explaining of like the murders,
Of
the
the crimes,
evidence
and with the splicing with the actual tapes
of the killer.
of
Yeah,
the acts. Oh wow, that's
yeah.
crazy. That's a really good way to do it, but that's fucked up. That sounds like it'd be fucked up.
Oh, it's a pretty fucked up film. Like it doesn't really like pick up until like around by the start of the second act. Then that's where things really get
Uh-huh.
fucked. So yeah,
Okay, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Uh,
And it's more or less like not what's visually on screen. It's more or less the anticipation of what you know is going to happen.
no, totally.
Yeah,
It's the knowing. Like
yeah.
that's crazy. That's a good way to do it. Horror movies are good, man. I loved. I love when a horror movie is like great, like really. Sometimes it's hard to watch. There's a really there's a really bad one on Netflix. I fucking hated it. It was In the Tall Grass. We watched it when we got back from the festival on Sunday, and it was very poorly acted. I didn't really understand the rules. It's like about like people getting lost in tall grass, but there's like time jumps. It's weird, and there's like a giant egg in the middle, and like I don't know, dude. It's like fucking weird, and I didn't really care for it. I may give it a rewatch just for like the fuck of it. It's only like an hour and a half, and I missed a couple of parts because I was like falling asleep. But yeah, it's yeah, that's a bad one. I don't really. A really good one is I think it's called Apostle on Netflix.
Yeah,
Oh, did I talk about The Ritual?
The Ritual. I don't think you did. No.
It might have been a few weeks back, but it's like about these British dudes hiking in the Swedish mountains, and they found some fucking cult, and it's like crazy, and it's like they do these weird camera tricks with the trees and shit, man. Oh my god, it's like insane.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking sweet. Really intense, but like really cool. And yeah, man, what has been going on for you, man? I feel like I've been talking a while.
No, you're good. Clearly, your life is way more active than mine. I've just been like going to work, going home, just doing some stuff. Recently, I've been getting into fitness, just trying to really take care of myself.
That's good. You've been trying to work out more?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm up to like 24 push-ups, 12 squats, 12 sit-ups, and a 1 minute planking session like every day.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah. And then also stretches.
Build yourself up. Yeah, no, you absolutely have to do that. Don't push yourself.
Yeah.
Stretching is important. I need to do more stretching. I can do more working out generally too.
Yeah.
I did a lot of walking over the last weekend, so I think that's gonna be. And I'm doing a lot of walking at Disneyland in September, but I do need to get back into like a regular routine. Movement's good. I've been trying to monitor my diet. Been trying to get more greens in every day and like do that whole shebang. It's hard, man. It's hard to taking care of yourself is a very hard thing to do. Yesterday I had a very bad set of meals. I think it was like I had a bagel for breakfast, I had ramen for lunch, and then I had a fat ass burrito for dinner to make up for like all that. And I got a shake afterwards, and then I had a beer afterwards. More beer.
Jesus.
That
says it all right there. Just that little burp.
That says it all. Just a little burp. But
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what. Honestly, I found that trying to up my protein and lower my carbohydrate intake is like very helpful. So.
Yeah, well, you have to like pursue like complex carbohydrates. Is like what I was told. It's like you have to like pursue like bread and like beer. Obviously, are like bad carbs, and like sugar are like a lot of carbs. But in a balance, in moderation, they can be good for you because you still need some of that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Complex carbohydrates like found in broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, whatever. Like those are really good for you, and those would be really good to have in your system. But for dinner the other night, so my girlfriend's dad made this like really good. He grilled up a teriyaki soaked tri-tip or marinated tri-tip, which was really good. And he had baked potatoes with it, little mini baked potatoes, and corn, and which was sweet. Oh my god, that was such a good meal. I ate so much of that. But I like cooking for tonight. I did like a really good. I did like a double cheeseburger with like sautéed onions, lettuce, pickle. I may get hate for this. Some people don't like having ketchup on their sandwich, and I understand that feeling. I love ketchup, so I don't mind having it anywhere, especially if it goes well with like meat, like beef or like chicken. So I had that on the burger, and I had some curly fries on the side with it, which is really good. Cooked that all here. I put the curly fries are frozen. Obviously, I don't make stuff by hand. My kitchen's not that big, and I don't put in a ton of effort when I cook. But I mean, I grilled a mean cheeseburger, so I was very happy about that. I made it probably well done. Which is how I like my burgers. Like my steaks, obviously, you got to do like medium rare. But yeah, eating healthy is hard, man. Eating balanced diet is hard to find, especially like I'm sure it must be challenging too. Like you have a very um your shift schedule probably doesn't make it very easy to like have consistency because like you maybe like work different hours, you get called in probably at different times, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it is. Yeah, and
And my schedule is very much the same. It's like I have to like reschedule. I mean, I have the 8:30 to 5 office hours, but I have to schedule sessions. Some people like at the beginning of my day, like at 8:30, so I have to be in the office a little earlier to be prepared for that. Or like sometimes things go a little longer than 5 o'clock, so I'm there a little longer. Or like in between my day, I'm like having to rush between different meetings, and so I have to like scarf lunch in like a half-hour period, so I make something quick.
yeah.
So I bought I bought groceries for 2 weeks, and my meal prep is buying frozen burritos, so I'm gonna microwave those when I'm at the office. I
I
bought
mean,
10 of those for the week.
it always could be worse. I think I saw like a Twitter post where this guy like orders like a dozen cheeseburgers from McDonald's and then just like reheats them and enjoys that throughout the week.
Yep, that's like super super unhealthy.
Yeah, and no, someone's like, I hope you
Really
know what
dangerous.
like food poisoning is. And it's like, I hope food knows what food poisoning is. I ain't got time for this shit.
I ain't never met a burger that can beat me or something like that.
Yeah,
The post is
exactly.
really just wild. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard, and like things are expensive. But like, and there's this really nice lady I follow on TikTok who does these like Dollar Tree meal preps, which is like really cool. Like how to get like 3 days worth of meals out of $10. Like that's really
Yeah.
like useful. 'Cause then it's like 3 days worth of meals. If you multiply that by three, you get your full meals for the week, and only like $30, which is like really good.
Huh.
For those on a budget. It can be hard, you know. But anyway, um, yeah. So I actually like maybe should do my own just burrito prep, but because I love having burritos. They're really just and the microwave burritos. It brings me back to college. Those are like lifesavers, dude. I used to just always get those and like um, survive the week on that. My when I was living with my friend in college, he had a microwave from the 70s that he was still using, which is really cool. It had like a dial knob for the time and stuff, and like it was crazy, dude.
I know, I was
It
there.
was
You showed
powerful.
me
It
it.
was like, yeah, that's right, I did, man. Yeah, you did see that. Yeah, man. And the shit was stronger than like regular microwaves because like in the 70s they had less regulations on that shit. Like they didn't give a fuck. Um, and like it's dangerous too, and I worried for a little bit because like there was this one time I didn't completely close the door, and like apparently that microwave. So like with most microwaves, when you open the door, modern microwaves they stop microwaving when you open the door, and like they don't spew radiation at you, which is like cool. This one
Yeah.
it doesn't stop that when you open the door even slightly. So like I had it stuck on a towel, so it was open one time and I was microwaving something. And I was like, oh no, my balls. But this is fine. And so I was just a little concerned about getting some radiation, but it was cool. It
Oh
was
my
good.
god.
Dude, I was reading actually. I'm really glad I stopped vaping the weed pen because like apparently there's research that suggests that it can be more dangerous than like vaping nicotine
Hmm.
because of like the harsh chemicals and stuff found in it. It's like mostly vitamin E oil, which just had a flare up in cases of like this new disease they're calling like e-cigarette something lung infection, whatever the fuck. Which is like really bad, but oh well, who knows?
See, now that's a good point, but I'm still over here boofing Xanax, so.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
Viewers, I don't boof Xanax, that's just a joke.
Eric is not the type of man to boof Xanax. How do you even? Isn't boofing taking it up your butt?
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure you just, like, stick it up your ass and let it dissolve,
That's
man.
not. Or is that's butt chugging, isn't it? What's boofing, dude?
No, boofing is like putting things up your ass.
Is that really?
Yeah, boofing.
Such an odd.
Boofing. Boofing.
Is a game of thrusting? Wait, what? No, boofing is something different, I think, dude.
Wait, what? What was I?
Oh, it's consuming the act of boof it. the act of consuming drugs through the sticking of said drugs up the anus and into the rectum to allow for better absorption of the substance. Poofing. Inserting, yeah, there's the verb, there's the fucking, I don't know, is that a noun? I don't know words.
Yeah. No, butt chugging, you're sort of right. That implies that, like, you have to take, like, a liquid up your ass instead of a solid object.
No, for real.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Don't be doing that.
Yeah. Viewers, don't be putting random things up your ass, okay?
Just keep that for fingers and like dildos. It's fine.
Exactly. Those are fine. Guaranteed.
That's what the anus was meant for. It was meant to be explored. So
God wouldn't put a G-spot in your asshole if he didn't want you exploring that back door.
If he didn't want you having another man schlong up your back door, as God intended, you know what I mean? Like
100%. Take it in the ass for Jesus.
Take it in the ass for God. Yeah, way more like yeah, gay.
Hey, LMAO. Oh my God.
Thank God, gay, dude. I think it's pretty gay to like make men with like a penis. That's pretty fucking gay, dude.
Oh my God. You know,
it's just a pervert because he's like spying on the lady too. He's spying on Eve, bro.
Bruh. He definitely swings both ways then if he's just spying on both of them. Like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Conspiracy theory. He might be more focused on Adam because Eve just went and fucking talked to a snake and got advice from a snake on eating an apple. Clearly, God wasn't paying attention at the time. He was thinking about Adam.
He was thinking about Adam and his massive schlong, dude. I bet Adam was packing, dude.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the art, it's not representing him well. I guarantee you, he was the Shane Diesel
He's
a
grower, not a shower.
That might be true, actually. Shit. Yeah.
His penis is like his money. Play with it and watch it grow. Maybe be small now.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Yeah.
Speaking of movies, another film that I saw recently was Chronicle.
That's a great one. That's
yeah.
the found footage with the telekinesis. That one's a great movie. I remember when that first came out. That was like, wasn't that like a breakout role for Danny DeHaan?
I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. Before that, he was in one episode of Law and Order. But yeah.
He was really good in that. He was that's a very good movie. I forgot about that one.
I fucking forgot that it had Michael B. Jordan in the movie, bro.
Oh yeah, he plays the other friend. Yeah. That's right.
Steve Montgomery.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. But it's fantastic. I saw the director's cut and it was so good.
No, the director's cut is always like a great cut. It's the most authentic.
Yeah, to the artist's vision. Yeah.
Yeah. What else have I seen? What else am I going to see? I don't know. Tonight I want to watch Saw for the first time. I've never seen Saw. Thinking about doing that. Got time for it. Pretty intense movie probably, but I'd be down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, if you want to see an interesting film, one of the best werewolf movies that I've seen in a while is Dog Soldiers. I like that one.
Dog Soldiers, okay.
Basically, a bunch of like military guys in England are on a mission, and they think it's a training exercise, but unbeknownst to them, it's a conspiracy to use them as a means to try and train these werewolves out in the woods for Department of Defense purposes.
Yeah, for active combat, so they can have. That's like that Love, Sex, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots episode.
Oh, there was an episode of Robots that did the exact same thing?
Well, they had like these two werewolves that were like in the military, and they were like doing exercises and tracking like other werewolves and shit. It's kind of nuts. It was a cool episode. It was good animation, good acting, good story.
Well,
that sounds cool. What's that movie called? Dog Soldiers?
Dog Soldiers, yeah.
Bet.
Yeah. I think it might be on Amazon Prime Video. I could be wrong, but no, I heard it for the first time like a couple of years ago, and then I watched it, and then I was like, oh my God, how did I not see this sooner? It's so fucking good.
Nice. I can't. Go ahead.
No, because werewolf movies are really, really hard to do because the special effects, you can get pretty damn good with it, but you have to do a little camera trickery to make it genuinely believable. Otherwise,
no, totally,
it'll look too fake. So,
absolutely, yeah, it's definitely a skill. I watched the original Wolfman that has really good visual effects.
Yeah. Hey,
I need to rewatch The Shape of Water. That's a really good one too.
same. We should do that and then we talk about it. Both of us, respectively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dog Soldiers is on Hulu, so
Oh, it's on Hulu. Sweet.
yeah.
I'll check
Yeah.
it out, man.
Made in
What else is on
2009.
Hulu? 2009. What else is on Hulu is that David Bowie documentary. I was talking to my friend about it yesterday. Because we were listening to some Bowie, and I listened to one of his albums this week, Scary Monsters and Creeps 2, which is a really good record. It's
Yeah.
got Fashion and uh, what's the other one that's on there that's really famous? Let me check. But yeah, so that documentary is really cool. It's a collection of like video and recordings from Bowie. Ashes to Ashes. That's right.
That is a good one.
Has that track on there. But so it's a movie that has a bunch of clips of him and a bunch of voice recordings of him talking about like life and stuff in a very like existential way. And I think that's like really cool and like really fascinating and like really impressive. And yeah, it's just a really well done movie, and it's really kind of like trippy as well. And so it's really cool to just be invested in it for 2 hours. You definitely feel a lot at the end of it, and he had a very complex. He had complex views. He had a complex life. He was really just he was an artist, man. And that's what I liked about that. I need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah.
I saw it in theaters. It was amazing. I would not give that experience up. Sorry, I thought I almost kicked something over.
No, you're good. I genuinely think that we need to see like a biopic on David Bowie. But it has to be done right. It has to show every aspect of his life, you know.
Well, yeah, they had that one a few years ago, Stardust, and I even heard. So first off, it had poor reception, and it didn't even have the rights to his music, so they couldn't play any of his songs, which is weird that you're doing a musical biopic without the music. Yeah, I mean, it's like the recognizable part.
Also, who the fuck played Bowie in that fucking biopic?
I don't know, actually. Let me check that.
Yeah, because personally, I would love to see Jamie Campbell Bower from Stranger Things play David Bowie in a biopic. Facial structure-wise, they're almost exactly alike. Both are very talented for different reasons. And then
Johnny Flynn.
Flynn. I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He was he's this like really recognizable guy. I guess he played Bowie. Good for him. But
cool.
He's in this movie called The Outfit, which is pretty good. He was in Operation Mincemeat, which is really good. Yeah, here, I'll send you a picture of him. So you know who I'm talking about.
But yeah, also Jamie Campbell Bower can actually sing too, and he kind of sounds he sounds a little like David Bowie, but like in a more bluesy kind of tone.
Okay, bet. That's cool.
Yeah.
So he should definitely like do that. But yeah, I think they need to redo it. That's really just but they also have this nice documentary which is really good too. So definitely check it out, viewers. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how the writer's strike is doing. I haven't heard much about that in recent. Has that come to an end yet?
No, as far as I know, it's still going on, and we won't really feel the total effects until like 6 to 8 months from now, because that's just how production works. So, and eventually we'll run out of content to consume, and then that'll be interesting.
Oh wow! So so it's still been active since May. That's crazy. I can't believe they've been having to do that for that long, but people just keep chugging along. Well, yeah, I keep reading fucked up stories about people like being scanned into backgrounds of shows, and that's just awful. I think that's really that's just and not telling. I think it's one thing to do it if you ask them permission. It's still a little weird, but the person gave you consent. But these are people who aren't giving you their consent.
Yeah.
To use their likeness. This is going to be it's going to be a crazy amount of lawsuits going on.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really bad for Disney. And I really it makes me a little not excited to go to Disneyland in September. Because my girlfriend and her parents wanted to be, but I don't. They're like, oh, you can't view it as a corporation. I'm like, I can't view it as anything but, because that's what it is. They're just making money off of nostalgia and whim, whimsiness. It's They're an evil company. They're an evil corporation that treats its employees like shit. So it's like any other company, you know.
Oh,
It's
100%. 100%.
who gives a fuck? So
Plus, they're not
anyway,
doing anything new. They're just keep cranking out like live action remakes of like old animated classics, man. Like it's some bullshit.
someone the other day on Twitter was saying there have been 19 different MCU projects since the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I'm just like, how is that possible? And they said that I put that in context of that show because they said there's been 19 different projects and we haven't once seen these two again. We haven't seen Falcon as Captain America yet again. They're just like spewing shit out. And dude, I didn't even finish Secret Invasion. I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for the Marvels. I might go check that out like 2 weeks after opening, just see what the is about. I'm actually kind of eager about Blue Beetle. That got really good reviews apparently.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So that's cool.
yeah. No, I think in terms of like new movies that I'm curious to see, definitely Talk to Me is top of the list. Blue Beetle, for sure. Yeah. But then
There's that movie Strays. There's that dog movie that like I kind of want to see.
Strays. Yeah.
Looks funny.
Yeah, it's my boy Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx. I fucking love that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. What were you gonna say?
But also, one movie that I definitely have to see because I've heard nothing but good things about it is The Last Voyage of the Demeter, the Dracula movie.
Oh, is that one actually good? That one's actually good.
Yeah, it's actually good. And here's the reason why it's so good. It's because it views Dracula as the monster that he is, not the man, because in the original work you think of the man, not the actual, creature. In the movie, though, it's a very monstrous design to him. And then as he keeps killing and gaining his strength back, he slowly shifts more into more of a man. So he goes from total beast to Nosferatu to then kind of more of a human being.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. And in fact, there's a quote in the movie. I've heard that it's not a spoiler, but it's just a quote in the movie. He is a monster that takes on the form of a man. So
that's cool.
Because most people view Dracula as a man that turns into a monster. No one ever thinks of a primal creature like that just happens to take on the form of a man because of circumstances to actually survive.
Yeah, I mean that's like the Dracula series on Netflix, the BBC joint. It's really the first episode's really well done. I finished the last two, and they were a bit lackluster in comparison. But it's a really good show. It's really well done. Dracula's really cool, and he's very that first episode. Oh my god!
And in fact,
crazy,
the
crazy story.
Similar themes are actually explored in the book Fever Dream by George R.R. Martin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because the big bad guy in that book, who's also a vampire, they explain that he's lived on this earth for a long, long time, and he's killed a number of people. He doesn't even do it for feeding anymore. He doesn't feel anything. He almost does it for sport.
Oh wow, Jesus.
Yeah, there's when they look at his eyes, they see nothing behind those eyes. Not a man, not a sentient thing, just a void wherever he goes, death always follows.
That's crazy. That's hard. That goes hard.
I know.
That's cool.
Shit goes hard. Feel free to screenshot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. In terms of other movies that are coming out, I don't know what else is coming out soon in theater.
Man,
I feel like I don't go to the movies as often as I should. I saw the Meg 2. Did I talk about that?
I don't think you did. No,
I don't remember, but it was.
It's a megalodon.
Oh, that's right. I didn't talk about it because I saw it Tuesday. So it's fine. It plays on what it is, and so it's it's definitely you shouldn't. Who fucking cares to see it in the theater? It's if you don't have the subscription like I do, if you have to pay $15 for a movie ticket, don't fucking do it. It's just wait till it's on a service or something. It's fine. It's fun. Jason Statham's good in it. The little girl in it's fucking annoying. They do a lot of telling and not showing. They're just kind of providing context in conversation. And the Meg isn't even that impressive. It only kills there's a few different monsters now, and they only kill a handful of people. It's not really that much. But it was fun. It was a fun movie. It was enjoyable. I like the black guy in it. He was cool. He apparently he was in the first one, so in this one he comes back. He's got he knows karate and stuff, and has a desert eagle and shit. Since the last time they faced off against one of these, it's he's funny. He's got a survival backpack that's a Gucci bag, which is really funny.
That's fucking awesome. I love that.
It's great. It's a fun movie. It's kind of the visual effects are awful, and I literally there was a scene of where it's in the trailer where Jason Statham is riding the wave on his jet ski and gonna spear the Meg, and the Meg's coming after him. My girlfriend and her mom, because she came with us, they were both laughing in the seats next to me. I was like, this is a very laughable movie. It's very fun. But anyway, so I would probably just say it's a good turn off your brain and giant shark movie, and it references Jaws and is trying to be funny and self-referential. It's generic. It's fine. It's definitely not Jason Statham was just collecting his paycheck and being a badass and surviving these chaotic situations. And it's bro, how the fuck? He's just a superhuman.
100%.
In this movie, it's like Hobbs and Shaw kind of energy almost. And actually, I really want to watch that one again. I might actually skip Saw and watch that tonight. That'd be sweet. But
yeah, because I mean, Saw is pretty good, and it has had a major impact in terms of gore kind of horror like that. But I don't know. At a certain point, it almost feels like torture porn. It's just why? Why would you?
That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hobbs and Shaw is fun. But yeah, no, Meg 2 is it's about probably give it a 6. A 6 out of 10. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. Not a lot of there's not at all any character growth. They just tell you about all these characters, and there's kind of two different plot lines going on at the same time, almost. And they're trying to be. They're not trying to do anything. They're just trying to put more monsters into it, and it was cool.
Dude,
it was fine.
If I wanted to see a movie where people get fucked up by a prehistoric creature, and it's just a cheesy violence fest, I'd rather just watch Piranha 3D, man. That's just.
No, that's a good one. That's funny.
Yeah, because I think it's 90 minutes. I could swear on my life that it's a 90-minute film that delivers exactly what it promises and more, because it's got a whole lot of nudity.
It's got a whole lot of nudity, a lot of boobies, there's a penis in there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the worst representation of a penis getting eaten by a fucking piranha.
Yeah, the worst CGI dick in the world.
Yeah.
Getting eaten by a CGI piranha. But that's a classic movie. Didn't they make 2 of those?
I could have sworn they did, but I never did see the second one. So I heard it wasn't that good either. I
didn't see the second one either. I mean, they could have just left it at the first one. The first one's supposed to be a gag anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's also, again, it's also self-referential, because, in the opening sequence when the actual piranhas show up, it's Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws in a boat.
Yep.
Yeah, tell me that it's not, fun. Just a meme.
That's good. Yeah, well, I guess it's been about an hour here. What do you say we clock out, brother?
I think it sounds like a good idea, fam. You go ahead and watch Dog Soldiers eventually, and then maybe Saw, unless you want to change your mind, and then just watch Hobbs and Shaw instead.
I'm thinking about it, because I maybe I'll watch a few minutes of Saw and see how I feel.
Yeah.
And if it encapsulates me, I'll watch the rest of it. Anyway, y'all have a great day or night or whatever you're doing out there. We love y'all, and we will catch you next week on the 9 to 5 Boys.
9 to 5 Boys out. Chukunk.